Bizarre Brain Comics. Huh. Hello, Gary here for Bizarre Brain Comics. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little about the characters and creators, and then examine the stories and the art. And the book I want to take a look at today is this one right here. It is Captain Atom, number 86. This particular book, it's a Charlton comic, but it's printed here under the Modern Comics logo, which was part of Charlton Comics and for their later reprint stuff. And I think they were for their bagged comics. It's all reprint. And this is by Steve Ditko, who was the writer. The script was Dave Kaler, and drawn by Steve Ditko, and inked by, I think his name is Rocky Mastroserio. And I've never heard of him. And this is Silver Age, even though this was published in, I think it was, what, 78? It's from 66. It's originally from 66, but this reprint is from 1978, I think it was. We'll see. See what it says in the Big Book of Knowledge. I said 86, I think it's 87, 85. Captain Atom, number 85 from 1966. It's reprinted as Modern Comics 1978, and it's originally from Charlton Comics. See, Captain Atom, he's an American comic book superhero. He first appeared in the 1960s, published by Charlton Comics, and was acquired by DC Comics in the 80s. And Captain Atom was created by writer Joe Gill and artist Steve Ditko. For his premiere in Charlton Comics is premiered in Space Adventures number 33 in 1960. So he actually predates Spider-Man. He and other Charlton characters were acquired by DC Comics and rolled into the main DC continuity with the post-Crisis on Infinite Earths events. Saying Captain Atom was an Air Force officer, Alan Atom. Under DC, they changed it to Nathaniel Atom. But he was Captain Alan Atom. He was a technician working on an experimental rocket and was accidentally launched with him on board. And it exploded in the upper atmosphere, and he was atomized. Ooh. Somehow, he reformed his body with atomic superhuman superpowers, not unlike Gold Key's Dr. Solar Man of the Atom, which I had previously thought predated, but I guess Captain Atom actually predated Dr. Solar by just 2 years or so. He moved to Strange Suspense Stories number 75, which was then retitled Captain Atom. And this initial book was canceled with issue 89 in 67, but he popped up again in 75 with Charlton's Bullseye title, and later had occasional appearances until he was bought out by DC. course, DC acquired several Charlton characters there. Of course, Captain Atom, the Blue Beetle. What's his name? The Peacemaker, of course, and another character who also appears in this is Nightshade. She's actually Captain Atom's secondary character. Another publisher licensed them for I think a single issue. I'll cover that in some time. So let's go back to the 60s with Captain Atom and Nightshade. Okay, here you get a better view of that cover. This is, as you can see, this is a pretty worn copy of this book, Captain Atom number 85 with Nightshade, and you can see here it has a Blue Beetle backup story mentioned here on the cover, also by Steve Ditko. And of course, Steve Ditko is best remembered for co-creating Spider-Man, and as great as his work was on Spider-Man, I actually like some of the stuff he did on Charlton Comics better. Especially, I really like his Blue Beetle better than his work on Spider-Man. He didn't do a whole lot of Blue Beetle. I want to cover that some other time. But here, Captain Atom, and he's teamed up with Nightshade, and they're up against the Strings of Punch and Julie. Now, this is some really goofy people here, goofy characters. These villains. Nice Ditko cover with that illustration with that Rocky guy doing the inks, and I like his inks on Ditko's pencils. It kind of smooths it out a little bit, and so I also like his work here, his pencils here, better than what, for the most part, he did on Spider-Man. Splash page here, Strings of Punch and Julie, giving you an idea of what's supposed to happen here. I really like this figure, Captain Atom figure here. Okay. So Captain Atom changed quite a bit when he moved to DC. It starts off with this blonde lady playing golf. These other golfers she's terrible. Well, help me find my ball and you can play through. So the one scientist he finds the ball. But what's this? It's a gem right next to this ball. And see, that's a really, really nice hand. And this is the kind of page layout that Ditko often did. This 9-panel grid. There's little smaller panels. It worked well for what he did. Some action gives you some good storytelling going on with that, though. And the guy picks it up, and then there's a string suddenly appears around him. And he's zapped. What the heck is going on here? And there is Punch floating in the air above him with his puppet strings, which they call sting strings, I think. It's kind of stuns the guy. Then Julie comes up. She was the lady golfer. She takes the gem, and she has the power, a certain kind of power of mind control, hypnosis. So this is the scientist, and they got the scientist there after. What's his name? It doesn't matter. I'll pack a wallop. And it's got the scientist guy. Then we change scenes. Here is Alan Atom and Eve. I don't know her last name. And they're swimming in the pool, and they're visiting, chatting with their friend. They're all military types. His arm's in a sling. And then after they're all chummy, walking away. And he's saying, and once this arm is healed, the ghost will appear again. Oh, what's this all about? And they're swimming. There's some nice stuff in here. and they're playing around in the pool, and then they get out, and suddenly something happens. Well, it looks like that officer suddenly it appears in a gem, and then boom, he's gone. What the heck happened? They don't know. So it turns out that they are Captain Atom and Nightshade. There they are in their hero forms. Got to see the chief and see what's going on, and they're kind of quizzed. It's like, we've got things to do. Try to okay. Nightshade, she's going to go where this other scientist had disappeared in a similar manner and check that area out. And Adam, you've got some to go see this other scientist, because you're scheduled for some tests on your powers, because they still learning about him and his powers and stuff. So he's not happy about that, but okay. And they set out separately. Well, here is their friend, Alec Royce was the fellow's name, the one that disappeared inside that gem. He's here. And Punch and Julie. That's funny here. They got the register kind of off register on the colors there for his mask. My giant gem illusion worked like a charm. Those people were actually trying to break into something that didn't exist. Look at Royce. He's still in a spell. But it was my stunning strings that put them all to sleep so we could get away with Royce. So everything that happened there was all fake. Now we get their background here. They're reminiscing about in this chest they were on the beach. There happened to be puppeteers. And they're out on the beach, and this chest washed up, and they checked it out, and it's got some weird stuff in it. And they have no idea where this comes from with these funny boots. The guy Punch has the power to fly with these boots, and these gems and this other gizmo here put on their head, and it's just filled with all kinds of information and the like. And the gems give the lady the power to hypnotize somebody, and plus these strings, the stun strings, so they were able to hypnotize people to build this, to be given this land at this property at this out on Coney Island, part of the where all the Ferris wheels and stuff are. I suddenly cannot think of the word. I hate when that happens when you get to senior moments. And then to hypnotize people into building a laboratory for them, because it has all this information, knowledge inside this gizmo, this head gizmo, and they give them technology, so they're building a laboratory. And then they concoct these stupid identities of Punch and Julie, and now they're off to see get another scientist. Woo! And here's Captain Atom at the lab with the scientist, and he's being tested, and his powers are being tested. And by the end of it, he is just exhausted. His powers are pretty much exhausted. Just take this thing. It's kind of a sedative, and it'll allow me to measure just your powers, not your regular brain activity and stuff. So, well, all that's gone. Punch and Julie breaks in, because they happen to be after this particular scientist. And it's just a bonus that they get Captain Atom too, and he's too exhausted and drugged up to do anything. So they snatch them both, and they get Captain Atom stuck in the string, so he's like a puppet. And then gets Julie. Julie brainwashes the scientist. Well, before he's zapped out too much, Captain Atom is able to press a button on his belt with a tracer, because he works for like the Pentagon, some CIA, some organization like that. Anyway, so they get a helicopter that the scientist had access to, and they use that to fly back to Coney Island. Meanwhile, Nightshade is checking out the location that the other scientist had disappeared, and she sees, well, he's checking the place out, and sees, well, the tracks just suddenly end as if he's flown away. And then she gets a call. Something happened with at the Captain Atom and the other scientists are gone. So, but she's got the tracer, so she traces it to Coney Island. Meanwhile, they're arriving there with Captain Atom on the strings like a puppet. And he tries to break free and gets shocked again. He's still too weak. He's trying to recover. Meanwhile, Nightshade is trying to sneak up, and Punch had gone to hide the helicopter, and she sees him flying back. So here, she uses her powers to sneak in, becomes a shadow. She becomes a shadow and sneaks in. Here they got all this equipment set up, and they're going to siphon. What they're trying to do is siphon all the knowledge from the minds of these scientists. And here they're going to do something similar to Captain Atom and just drain his brain. Oh, they're evil. Meanwhile, Nightshade's shadow creeps up and grabs Julie, which gives Captain Atom a chance to focus, and he shatters the container he's in, gets out, and it's fighting time between the two heroes and the two villains. Meanwhile, Royce is recovered enough, and because remember, he's actually a supervillain, but they don't know that. They don't know he's the supervillain, and he is secretly transporting some of the equipment in this hideout to his own hideout. These characters are just totally goofy. I swear, these villains, they're just the goofiest villains. And they punch, chase, punch. Oh, that's a nice one right there, though. And Captain Atom, he's still weak, but he's strong enough. It's got some nice figure stuff on here. And punch. Finally, they get them subdued, but Julie gets away. Here she is. She manages to get the thing and get to her crystals and gives them an illusion and gives her a chance to get away. So they caught Punch. Julie is getting away. They free the scientists, and they're being. So here's Punch swearing he's going to get revenge. There's Julie from wherever she's hiding swearing she's going to get revenge. And there's Royce. Says, soon my arm will be healed. And then the Ghost will make an appearance again. And then here's someone else, some kind of reporter, I think. I don't know who she is. She says she just doesn't like it, Captain Atom. And then here, a teaser for, because next issue, The Fury of the Faceless Foe, which is the Ghost making a reappearance. And then here's a Kiss ad. And after that, we had the Steve Ditko. So this has some really nice Ditko stuff. But I'm not going to cover just to show you. I really liked his version of the Blue Beetle. He co-created the Ted Cord version of the Blue Beetle, which is what the one that DC acquired, because they had previously had the original Blue Beetle, which I had almost nothing about, and then of course DC killed off Ted Cord and got this other guy as a Blue Beetle, and I don't care for his version as well. I prefer the Ted Cord version. So that's our little adventure. As I said, it's a fun read. It's not exactly well written. It's not bad, but except for those villains. Those villains are just stupid. Just plain old stupid. And but it's a nice little romp with the classic 60s Captain Atom from Charlton Comics. Yeah, it looks like I've been doing a whole bunch of Charlton Comics here lately. That's okay. It wasn't originally intentional, and then I decided I think I will do it intentional. So I intentionally dug out a Charlton superhero to go with the other Charlton books that I've had lately. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's fun, good, just a fun read. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. And remember, Comics are art.